talks. What are you hearing?
Yeah, certainly stable would not be the word I'd use to describe it. Everyone did wake up with a sense of relief, that we didn't see the annihilation that Trump had threatened to unleash. But there were sirens in Gulf states overnight. And even this morning, we've seen renewed attacks. We saw the UAE, where I am, they had drone attacks missile barrage coming into the UAE, and Iran. There was an attack on an oil refinery. J.D. Vance, who's in Hungary, he was calling this a fragile truce. So really, it's still, the dust is still settling on this really early deal. One of the big questions is whether Lebanon is even part of this ceasefire. Pakistan, which has been sort of acting as an intermediary, says that it is. Israel says that it's not. My colleagues with the AP in Lebanon, they reported on people packing up, getting ready to go back to southern Lebanon, where they had fled from, only to see Benjamin Netanyahu say that the attacks in southern, or the confrontation in southern Lebanon was going to continue. So, right now we're still waiting to see what happens. Hezbollah says that it's not adhering to any ceasefire because Israel isn't doing so. So, still a lot to be seen for this to actually take hold. As early as Friday in Islamabad, Pakistan, but there's a big gap between what both sides want. Iran has said that it wants all U.S. forces out of the region. This is clearly not something that's going to go down well with the U.S., which has bases all over. The U.S., by the way, has said that it's going to be, quote, hanging around. Trump said they're going to be hanging around as the Strait of Hormuz is reopened. Unclear, what exactly that means. Iran would like to continue its uranium enrichment. That also is something that the U.S. has been opposed to from the start. It's actually one of the reasons that this entire war began. The U.S. has said that it wants to, eliminate the threat of Iran's ballistic missile program. So really, and also the question of what happens to the Strait of Hormuz. So Iran wants to continue charging these tolls that it has started doing since the war began. Whereas the U.S. and many others want this to remain as it has been since before the war, an international waterway, even though it is Iranian and Omani territorial waters. So, really far gap between these two sides to reach a deal if they're going to, in fact, meet.